Succession and the Anglophone crisis are some of the key hot issues in Cameroon, awaiting French President Emmanuel Macron as he visits Cameroon in less than 3 hours from now. The French President is expected to land in Cameroon's political capital city, Yaoundé. Because of this newscast with our guests, we shall be looking at the context within which the French President is visiting Cameroon amid letters to Emmanuel Macron. Yes, the French President from the southwest region of Cameroon, but also from the northwest region, understanding lockdown calls within the context of the visit in Yaoundé. Meantime, a family in the city of Douala is asking that the dues be paid by a bank. They say that they are being unjustly treated. Ladies and gentlemen, desertification is as a result of a disturbing food crisis this time around in the far north region of Cameroon, stricken by the activities of the Boko Haram terrorist group. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for accepting to get connected and be informed by our #1 television channel, Equinoxe. We live from Douala. Desertification resulting from deforestation, abusive deforestation, has been identified as the main factor characterizing water crisis in Sulede, a locality in the Mayochanaga division of the Far North region. The people are suffering enormously. Innocent as is the man on that story.
A normal day in Sulede, a locality in the Mayochanaga division, Far North region. Everything seems to be well here. But the reality is, the people are coping by the grace of God. While some are busy selling to generate income for the family, women and children prepare their donkeys with empty vessels. They are embarking on a journey of several kilometers to fetch water, in most cases from boreholes and other doubtful sources.
Chez nous, il n'y a pas de l'eau. Nous quittons 5 km pour venir puiser de l'eau ici.
Studies show this suffering is brought about by desertification, resulting from the high rates of deforestation in Sulede. Consequently, water sources have disappeared.
On a suivi ces histoires à la télé, à la radio. Maintenant, nous les vivons de tout près.
Feeling their cries for help have been ignored by authorities, the people of Sulede decided to get moving while crying. Through contributions, they've raised the sum of 10 million francs CFA to start fighting the wicked climate change to return to normal life. This has permitted them initiate a rescue project with particular focus being to first cure the disease, desertification, through the Operation Plant New Trees, which has seen the planting of 5,000 trees in Sulede by the locals. This will help cure desertification and facilitate access to potable water.
À l'eau potable, de la préservation.
This project will go a long way to preserve the ecosystem and contain climate change that has affected agriculture adversely.
Et on vit l'effet actuellement même dans notre village.
These trees planted are expected to relieve the people of Sulede of the sufferings they have gone through for many years now.
Nous allons recruter.
We will employ people who will cater for the growth of these trees. Others will have to watch over them so none of them is destroyed, especially during the harsh 8-month dry season here in Sulede.
La saison sèche dure ici environ 8 mois. Pendant les 8 mois, nous risquons perdre ces plants.
Resources have also been reserved, which will be used to acquire materials for the extension of potable water sources.
En fait, il est envisagé.
The committee hopes to afford materials, especially pipes, that will reach identified remote localities from the harnessed water sources.
C'est-à-dire, on a identifier les zones reculées.
Other expectation of the population of Sulede is to see that access to education and health is facilitated, living together fostered, and the extension of electricity, just like potable water. They are counting on the support of government authorities, persons of goodwill, and organizations in one way or the other to achieve all these.
Yaoundé, 2 hours to the visit of French President Emmanuel Macron, We shall be talking about that in the second segment of news, but also we shall be trying to understand the lockdown calls that are multiplying in the Northwest Regional Chief from Bamenda within the context of the visit of the French president in Yaoundé. This and more will be part of tonight's news edition. Ladies and gentlemen, you still have an interesting package coming your way, but this time around, we talk about the challenges of a family in Douala, the family that is asking a bank, BSEC, to pay the dues of their late father. Their father, who was a pilot with the Cameroon Airlines company Cameco, reportedly left the sum of 9 million francs CFA in his account. The bank is not ready to give the money to the family of this man who died sometime in 1989. The family, as of now, have not been able to test a franc of the 9 million franc that their father, franc CFA, that their father left in his bank account. According to them, we have details in the following investigative report compiled by Anne Abila.
Children of a late pilot of the defunct Khmer who died in a plane crash in 1989 have been expressing worries of struggling to get their father's dues paid in vain. Victor Nenda is the son of the late pilot Nenda Jomboa James.
More than 30 years ago, my father passed away through an accident in Cameroon Airlines. So before he died, his account was in the BSEC bank. So this is the money that we are trying to get since, and then BSEC is not able to give us, even though we have won in court and we have a final decision from the court saying that they have to restitute this money to us.
Victor further explains that BSEC confirmed their late father left 7 million francs in his account, but they are yet to receive the money for reasons unknown to them.
BSEC sent a letter after he passed to my uncle. I think he was too traumatized to check, saying that your brother left 6.3 million, and that if you have chance, you can call the rightful owners to come and collect the money.
BSEC had earlier proposed an amicable arrangement with the Nenda family, a suggestion they rejected.
The person in charge of the bank, in charge of the service juridique in the bank, he called us to say, if we want, we can take 5 million. He wouldn't pay us all the money. If we want, we can. So I refused. I said no. This is money that my father left. It's not money that we were bargaining about. Who did not just pay us? We are not even asking for more than what you've wasted time all this time.
All the Nenda family wants is for their late father's money to be paid by BSEC.
BSEC is complicating this in a way I can't begin to understand why they will do this, why they won't pay. I just want BSEC to pay, to call us and say, okay, we're sorry, this is what happened, this is your money, your father left, we apologize, and everybody goes their way. That's all.
We got in contact with the person in charge of judicial affairs at BSEC in Bonanjo, who declined commenting on grounds of professional secrecy.
And now let's talk health to say that the high prevalence of hepatitis B and C is a cause for concern in Cameroon ahead of the commemoration of the World Day Against Hepatitis. Health officials in Cameroon are reiterating the importance of screening and equally get vaccinated. The call was made at the Douala Lakintini Hospital, that's in the economic capital city. So Immaculate Fogwe, the health lady, captured key moments of that event and compiled the following report.
Hepatitis B and C remains the major cause of chronic liver disease worldwide. Hepatitis B and C are blood-borne infections that share common routes of transmission. The main routes are from mother to child, unprotected sex, and sharing sharp objects such as needles. The prevalence rate for hepatitis B in Cameroon stands at 6%, while hepatitis C ranges from 5 to 10%.
Donc on peut avoir une hépatite virale sans savoir.
Hepatitis is described as a silent killer because the symptoms are noticed when it is already in an advanced state. Some of the symptoms are yellow eyes, swollen legs, and sometimes victims vomit blood. The disease is considered to be more contagious because it can resist any environment. Given the high treatment costs in hospitals in Cameroon, the need to get tested early enough will go a long way to save lots of families from the stress. One does not have to be sick before they carry out screening. We need to make sure that the equipment used are sterilized. Persons who frequent salons need to be extra cautious. Ahead of the commemoration of World Hepatitis Day on July 28th, the Douala Lakantuni Hospital has organized a massive vaccination campaign. Health professionals reiterate the importance of screening. Our objective is to screen a good number of the population and equally vaccinate them. This will help contain the spread of the disease. As for now, there is no cure for acute hepatitis B in Cameroon. Victims will have to be on medications for the rest of their lives. Meantime, victims of hepatitis C have higher treatment chances. Cameroonians are called upon to visit health centers so as to know their status.
Like most of you, a lot of persons have been asking questions as to why very few young persons are becoming key entrepreneurs who are venturing into the small and medium-sized sectors of our economy. Yes, most of them say that they face enormous challenges ranging from the lack of support to the lack of skills. In order to help young people go into small and medium-sized enterprises or venturing to become entrepreneurs, the Ministry of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, the government of Cameroon, that of vocational training, is partnering with the United Nations Development Program in order to arm most young persons with skills needed to be key entrepreneurs. We have details in an event that was organized in the city of Douala with Lucy Liengu in the following report.
Many youths in Cameroon have as vision of becoming great entrepreneurs, but this dream is often frustrated by a couple of challenges.
And of course, it was organized by the Ministry of Civic Affairs and the Ministry of Vocational Training in partnership with the United Nations Development Program. The objective was to arm young persons in Cameroon and encourage them into venturing into the small and medium-sized sector and also becoming entrepreneurs. It was coming at a time when young people complain that they do not have the necessary support and skills to become key entrepreneurs. It was organized in the city of Douala. We're sorry that the quality of the report is not the best. We promise that we'll be coming back to it subsequently on subsequent news editions on Equinoxe radio and television. But we told you that we shall be talking with the visit of French president to Cameroon, as Cameroonians are expecting that there be something within the direction of a succession, that is the after-Biya period in Cameroon, but also an end to the armed conflict rocking the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Their expectations fall within the context of the normality that Cameroon and France are in a key relationship, France being a key strategic military as well as diplomatic partner to Cameroon. Time for us to talk international news before talking points to say that insecurity in Mali is increasing as they witness gunshots over the weekend within what many qualify as an attempted coup d'etat, with some key military bases 15 kilometers away from the capital Bamako attacked by armed individuals. We have a details with international news roundup. It is compiled by Lucy Liengu Esia.
Gunfire explosions witnessed in Mali in the early hours of Friday morning in the Malian town of Kati, just 15 kilometers north of the capital. To the Malian army, the attack is said to be carried out by jihadists who aboard two explosive-laden vehicles. According to sources, in recent months, insecurity in Mali has dramatically increased as suspected Islamists massacred about 132 civilians Malians in the Mopti region. Burkina Faso and Niger worries as thousands of travelers fear to cross the border by bus. This comes following repeated attacks by terrorists in recent months, who, according to the population, have been terrorizing the border. The travelers fear the worst, mostly as they face attacks starting from the town of Terra. In Ghana, high inflation worsens the living conditions as inflation hits 30%, which, according to the population, is the highest in 2 decades.
They are hungry.
On a faim, on souffre, on a faim. On ne gagne pas d'argent pour s'acheter de quoi manger, donc on a faim. Pauvre Ghana, priez pour nous, c'est trop dur ici.
Prices of food and other goods are rising daily, worsening the life of ordinary consumers. According to Ghana's government, the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused the increase in prices of commodities, resulting to high living standards.
The 5th attempt was a successful one for the Bayanas of South Africa, who successfully added their names to the list of African female nations whose female national teams have backed home the trophy of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. It was in a highly disputed finals, pitting host nation Morocco and the ladies from the Rainbow Nation. We have duty with Smart Njikangere as sportsman.
The Mulai Abdallah Stadium was filled to capacity as the home crowd came out in their numbers to push the Atlas Lionesses to their maiden win of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations trophy. Unfortunately, 2 quick goals from Hilda Magia within 8 minutes handed the Women's Africa Cup of Nations trophy to the Bayana Queens of South Africa, who have been behind the trophy for a while, losing in 4 previous finals to Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea, notwithstanding the goal from Rosella Ayene to reduce tally at the 80th minute. The dream of host nation Morocco keeping the trophy was dashed out. The victory of South Africa meant they had a 100% record in Morocco, winning 5 matches at regular playtime. At the end of the tournament, South Africa went home not only with the trophy but with the best goalkeeper award of the tournament. That was given to Andile Dlamini, who conceded just 3 goals in 5 matches. South Africa also went home with the fair play trophy of the competition, as in the entire tournament they had just 3 yellow cards. The award for the best women's team of the continent was also given to South Africa. South Africa became just the 3rd nation to win the Women's Continental Trophy, which had been an affair of Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. A total of 90 yellow cards were shown in the 26 matches played, with 7 red cards also given to players by the women in black. The runners-up at the competition, Morocco, returned home not only with the silver medal but also the best player of the tournament award given to Ghislaine Shebak, who ended the tournament as the top scorer with 3 goals alongside Rashidat Ajibade of Nigeria and Hilda Magia of South Africa. A total of 63 goals were scored during this 13th edition of the tournament, with an average of 2.25 goals scored per match. The appointment has been taken for 2024 for the 14th edition of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations.